Welcome back, everyone. I guess I'm late to the game with this car video thing, but I'm literally sitting in the car waiting for the store to open so that I can get in and set up for the stream because, it's May 4th and Red Caps Corner is running a Carbonite event. If you're seeing this, it's already well too late because this will go up on YouTube afterwards. I'm going to be streaming it, so definitely check that out. Try and support Red Caps if you can. Definitely been a big proponent of the whole SWU scene, so we want to help them help us kind of thing. But as far as my thoughts on SWU this week, right now Lil is going on, and I didn't get to watch basically any of it yesterday. I started to go watch the coverage on stream last night because I went to a different Carbonite event out at the Adventurers Guild. But there's some interesting things coming out of it. The rumor is there's a Sabine data vault in the top 8, which I can't find corroboration. I don't know if people are just writing the wrong thing in the Discord servers I'm in or what, but by the time you'll already know. The more important thing that I think came out of this entire event is that we had a single person bubble out of day 2 at X2. So for those unfamiliar, X2, X is a variable. It's number of rounds and 2 losses. So they went, I think, 6-2. And so they had 6 wins and 2 losses, and they were literally the only person due to tiebreakers they bubbled out. Look, if you played in tournaments, you've bubbled out at some point. We've all been there. It feels terrible. And most of the time, it's just like, all right, whatever. But when you travel to a major event like this, you invest the time, energy, and money, especially, although some of those other things could be counted as money. It's important to ensure that people are getting a good experience. And look, I can already hear people, oh, well, that's a millennial attitude. It's participation trophies. No, it's the appropriate response to and the appropriate reward for the amount of effort and result put in. You can't control the matchmaker. You can't control that, oh, well, your opponent's 85th tiebreaker somehow screws you over 8, 9, 10, 11 rounds later. In my opinion, and a lot of people have said this, they really just need the rules to be, it's a cutoff for points. It's a cutoff, like whatever the cleanest cutoff is that, okay, you need to be this tall to ride this ride, and then you progress to day 2. And you include everybody with those records. So top 64 or all of the X and 2s above, or everyone above 21 points, or everyone at whatever the level is determined for that particular size of event. Of course, it will scale based on the population. Now, beyond that, we also have to consider what are we going to do when it's top 8 time? And people have suggested the idea for play-in rounds where it's, oh, well, there's 6 people that are tied for the 8th slot. Have them all play each other. The problem is that then you end up with, okay, well, now we have 3 winners. We have 3 people tied. I don't know the math because I'm sitting in the car and off the top of my head, I'm not going to know. But somebody, it's math that can be done to determine what are the logical break points here. I am not inherently opposed to the idea of a play-in, but the issue I have overall is just the logistical one. And that's not really my problem. It's a problem for the tournament organizers because at the end of the day, if you're tacking on, okay, you played 8 rounds or 9 rounds yesterday, you play 4 or 5 more rounds today, then we got to do 4 more rounds, 3, 4 more rounds to figure out who even plays in the top 8. Then you do the top 8. You may just literally get kicked out of the venue. And that's before, if we're worried about exhaustion from day 1, now we're making day 2 longer than day 1 or as long as day 1. That's the only problem for me. I think it would be good and it would be better to have these sort of things, and other games do it. I got into a debate with people on a different topic about tournament structures in other games, and the reality is that you need to suit the structure to the game, and I applaud the effort, like the idea behind, for example, the double loss system. I think it was a stupid idea, but I get the intent of trying to solve a potential problem. I'm not saying we need to follow whatever was done in the past or is being done concurrently in other games, but the reality is the other games have similar issues. If we are similar enough to Magic, similar enough to Pokemon, similar enough to Yu-Gi-Oh, to Digimon, to Flesh and Blood, whatever, pick a game. If we're similar enough to them to kind of take their tournament structure, we should probably, we being FFG, consider whether they are the same or going to present the same problems, and can we solve those in a reasonable fashion. I think that's probably the approach they took with the double losses, and personally I think they looked at the data and then drew the incorrect conclusion. Here I think it's just a matter of like who loses here by having an extra person or a couple of persons in day 2. The loser as far as play-in rounds, and maybe you do that on day 1, play-in rounds to, if you want to, okay, it's always going to be top 64, so we know exactly what we're dealing with day 2. Is it a problem to ask people to play a 9th, a 10th, 11th, 12th round, depending on how the breakdown is? Now, the 12th round would be like, we're at the point where we're getting thousands of people for events. And we have, like the math is so weird that we have a gazillion people that are on the bubble. We're not there yet, and maybe these things don't need to be set in stone. I'm of the opinion you adapt to what it is. If we go to the sector at Lil had however many people, and if now we're into 4 digits at Denver, okay, well then we adapt to that. If we expect that there will be 4 digits pushing, 2,000 people at the following one, great. The game is doing fantastic. Maybe we need to grow and evolve at that stage. But for now, let's solve the problem we have. And I think that realistically, we do need to try and modify these structures so that you aren't traveling, taking an entire weekend. Like for me, if I was considering going down to Richmond, I'd have to take the day off on Friday for travel, possibly Monday, because to be honest, I'm going to be tired as hell on Monday. So that's 2 days off of work and the entire weekend where my wife's not coming with me. The kids aren't going to grandma and grandpa's. Like all these logistical things that have to happen for your average person, an average player, especially in a game that, from what I've heard, kind of skews older. So if you're going to ask people to do these things, especially in the current climate of the real world, you gotta fix it. Similarly, I talked about it before, but I think that they need to do a better job with the promos and the playmats, and they have improved that. They did improve that, so that's good news, but I do think that they need to continue to improve it, to grow it, to evolve it, to adapt it, because, again, if you're asking people, you want people to show up to these things, there should be a room block through FFG, through a hotel that's either attached to the convention center or affiliated with or nearby or whatever, so that people get lower rates for the hotel, so that you show up and you can give people a goodie bag and be like, here is a whole bunch of promos. As soon as you check in at the hotel, bang, you get your stuff. It's been done before. But I'm hoping the store opens up soon. I'm going to finish my coffee. As always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.